Welcome to the back pew. It seems to me that sometimes we take things for granted. For example, 2 weeks ago, we were in the throes of Holy Week. Then we celebrated Easter. Easter was glorious and wonderful. But that first Easter, it wasn't like an Easter Sunday morning worship service. It was a hard day, confusing, much more realistic to maybe how we are in our lives. How often are we left perplexed by life, wondering, questioning, uncertain, maybe scared, maybe horrified? How often are we caught unsure of where we're going or what's happening, or our lives have had a twist that we could never have expected, that we didn't plan for, or maybe one that we've dreaded? The good news is God gets it. God understands. If we want to look at the Easter account, the Easter story, the good news that Jesus is risen from the dead, it's not fully encapsulated in just that first word, but there's more. Part of that more is a story about Cleopas and another disciple, another follower of Jesus, who on that first Easter day headed out of Jerusalem, headed out of town. They were going back home to their town of Emmaus. They were going back to whatever life was now going to be. They had been following this Jesus. They had been tracking with this Jesus, and boy, did they experience the brokenness of that. Jesus, their leader, their teacher, their Lord, is crucified, died, buried. And now the women are saying he's raised from the dead. They don't know what to think about it, except they're left sad, perplexed, wondering, uncertain, scared. Just like where we are at times. Sometimes our experience is not always that mountaintop of joy, but rather that slogging through of where is life now. So in this story with Cleopas and the other disciple, they're walking along and someone meets them. A stranger, it seems, doesn't know what's going on, isn't looking at the world in the same way, shall we say. And so they walk and talk. They get to the village. They invite this stranger in. That was and currently is the way of Middle Eastern hospitality. Invited him in. Then in the breaking of the bread, something happens. Their eyes are opened and they see Jesus. You see, why this is an essential part of the Easter story is because that's what God does. God shows up. God shows up when we feel broken and are uncertain and are perplexed. God shows up in unexpected ways. Sometimes it's in the smile of a family member or a friend. Sometimes it's in the words of someone who's just walking alongside us. Sometimes it's in the Word of God that speaks deep to us, or in the water of baptism, or in the breaking of bread, the communion. God shows up. The resurrected Lord finds us. What have been your Emmaus moments? What are the moments where you have that aha feeling, or that sudden peace, or that grace that simply grabs hold of you? What are those moments where God comes alongside you? Now, this event in Emmaus, it changed Cleopas and the other disciple. Understand that in those days you didn't travel after dark. it was not safe. There were wild animals and there were bandits. But these two, they were so inspired, so filled with joy, that they ran back to Jerusalem to tell. I pray that in your life, you find and discover and your eyes are open to those Emmaus moments, and that you will go and tell. I look forward to seeing you this coming Saturday and Sunday at First Lutheran Church Galveston, 5:30 p.m. on Saturday and 10 a.m. on Sunday morning. Sunday morning is Fanfare Lutheran Music Academy Sunday, so a lot of the music will be offered by students from our music academy. I pray that you have a blessed week. If this has been meaningful, please pass it along. I look forward to seeing you.